What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. And today we're going to get into my Pac-12 conference tournament prediction video. This will be the final conference tournament of the Pac-12. Believe it or not, as we all know, the division of all these teams going to different universities at this point. Pretty crazy to think about, honestly. But that's just what has happened. So let's get into these predictions here. Obviously, Pac-12. This will be. I made the Mountain West, the Big 12, ACC, SEC, Big East, all those before this one. So this will be the final one, like of the big conferences today. I might do some other ones, but we'll see. Anyway, let's get into our predictions here, and that's going to start, or the standings. That's going to start out here with number 1 seed Arizona, ranking 5. Arizona, if they didn't lose last night to USC by 13, Arizona would be a type of team right now that I think would be in the mix for the actual number 1 seed of the NCAA tournament. But right now they did lose. So, I don't know. Arizona, man, it's just there's not enough good teams in this conference, even if they win the whole thing, I think, for them to be solidified as a 1 seed. So that's all up for grabs. They'll either be a 1 seed, 2 seed, and maybe if they lose something horribly in their first matchup, a 3 seed, but I doubt that. All right, but yeah, then number 2 we have Washington State, the next best team here. At 14-6 in conference play, have played really good basketball. They'll be in the tournament this year. Then after that, we got a lot of chaos here, a lot of teams fighting, to be in position to actually make the NCAA tournament, whether on their bubble. Some of these teams actually would need to go, all in and win this entire thing. That starts out with number 3, Colorado, 13-7 in conference play. They really started out the Pac-12 rough, but they are on a 6-game winning streak right now. So maybe, just maybe, they can make this NCAA tournament. I honestly haven't seen them on. Let me check Joe Lunardi's recent one. Yeah, they are on the first 4 out, so they're right in the mix for the NCAA tournament, but they are on the outside looking in, according to Joe Lunardi right now. So they do need to get at least 1 win here against a quality opponent. But then we get to the next team, number 4 seeded Oregon, also a team that's been on the bubble. I believe this is a team that is on that bubble list for Joe Lunardi. They are not. So they are like on the next for out, I believe. At a 12-8 record, they would need to go on a run. Probably would have to be Arizona. Maybe even have to win this entire tournament, I think. But then number 5 seed UCLA, finishing 10-10 in conference play. They had such a bad start to the year that they'll probably have to win this entire thing. We're at the beginning of the year, we're projected to be like an 8 seed, but outside of conference play, they were 5-6, so that's not going to cut it for them. Then 6-seeded Utah, finishing 9-11 in conference play right now. Just lost last night to Oregon. That's a critical loss for them. We're just on Joe Lunardi's next 4 out. So could be a team that maybe could make the tournament still. I think they would have to beat Colorado and to be for sure safe, beat Washington State if they meet them in there. But then number 7, we have California, and 8, Washington, both teams 9-11. Both those teams I think Washington maybe could get away with making the semifinals and somehow squeaking in, but I think both those teams would have to win the Pac-12 to make the tournament. And that will continue down all the way to 8-seeded 10-seeded Stanford, 11-seed Arizona State, and 9-seed, skipped over USC, 9-seed USC. All those teams finishing 8-12 in conference play, and then 12-seed Oregon State finishing 5-15 in conference play. So just a lot of chaos, honestly, from you get to number 3 down to, honestly, the bottom at 12. But anyway, guys, let's get into our predictions here. And that's going to start out with Washington taking on USC. Big game on Wednesday. USC obviously just beat Arizona, but we take a look at these matchups between these two. Washington, did these two even meet? They did meet on the 2nd of March. That was their only matchup. And USC won by 7. USC is a team that coming into the year was projected to be very good as like a 5 seed or a 4 seed. That has clearly not been the case. I'm going to go with USC, though. With the talent as a 9 seed, I think they can beat Washington. It can go either way. Washington's also a good team, but I like USC in that matchup as a 9 seed. So we'll get a rematch of what just happened between Arizona and USC. All right, next up, UCLA taking on Oregon State. We got 5 versus 12. UCLA met this team on the 1st of February, beat Oregon State by 8, and that was their only matchup. Could it potentially be a massive upset here? I don't think so. I think UCLA's been a good enough team in Pac-12 play that they will be able to win this one. Just been a frustrating year for UCLA in general, but I think they can get the job done. Okay, next matchup, 7-seed Cal taking on 10-seeded Stanford. These two just met on Thursday. Stanford dominated Cal by 22. But then on the 26th, California won by 2 points. That game was being played in Cal. I'm going to go with Stanford. California is a team that has lost 3 straight games, kind of struggling as of late. And I like a 10-seed upset there. So why not go with an upset, especially with Stanford actually just barely recently dominating Cal the way they did. So give me Stanford in the upset. And then 6-seed Utah, 11-seed Arizona State. Must-win game for Utah here. If we look at the 4th, Arizona State did beat Utah. The 4th of January, that game was being played in Arizona State. Then on the 10th of February, Arizona State did beat Utah as well. So Arizona State's beat Utah twice. Seems like a tough matchup for Utah. But I do like Utah. I think that it's tough to beat a team 3 times. I say it all the time in these tournament predictions. I don't think that Arizona State's going to beat that good of a team 3 times in a row, especially a Utah team that's right on the bubble. So give me the Utes. Okay. Arizona, USC. Obviously, these two just met where USC won by 13. Earlier this year, Arizona did win by 15. Do I believe Arizona is going to lose back-to-back games, though, to USC? I do not. As much as USC needs this one to make the tournament, and obviously USC has talent, they're coming alive, at the right time. But all the turbulence that's gone on there this year, I don't think it will be enough. Give me Arizona. Next up for Oregon, taking on 5 UCLA. Interesting matchup here. If we take a look, did these two even meet? These two met on the 30th of December, and Oregon won by 5. So it's been a while since these two have played. I do like 4-seeded Oregon. Slightly better team. I think they will get the job done, but I could see that one going either way, honestly. All right. 2-seeded Washington State taking on 10-seed Stanford. These two met on the 18th of January. Washington State won by 14. And then Washington State beat Stanford by 13 on the 17th. I did say it's tough to beat a team 3 times. When it comes to Washington State, they're a really solid team. So I do like them to handle business and beat Stanford. advancing on. Okay, final matchup here, 3 seed Colorado and 6 seed Utah, and a big one for these two tournament hopes. If we take a look at right now, Joe Lundardi's bracketology, Utah probably would drop even more. I believe Utah was, they were the 4th team out. Colorado was the 2nd team out. So I do believe Utah would drop to the next 4 out after the loss to Oregon. But either way, Utah needs this one. Colorado, if they win this one, their tournament hopes are still up in air, but that would help them a lot. I think whoever loses this one is eliminated. Obviously, if Utah gets past Arizona State, which obviously is a big if, as we've seen this year. But, anyway, Colorado is on a 6-game winning streak, so that's big. These two met on the 3rd of February. Utah won by 5. That was at Utah. And then on the 24th of February, Colorado won. Dominated Utah by 24. So I do like Colorado. This team was highly, had high expectations coming into the year, had a kind of a rough start, in general in non-conference play and in Pac-12 play, but now they've kind of clicked into that dominance and have won 6 straight. I do think they get a big-time win for their tournament hopes against Utah. Obviously, there's a lot of teams fighting for that spot, but I do think Colorado can get it done. Okay, Arizona, 1-seeded team versus a 4-seed Oregon. We take a look here. On the 27th of February, Arizona beat Oregon on the road by 11. And then Arizona dominated Oregon on the 2nd of March at home. I like Arizona in this one. There's a reason why Arizona's been the number 1 team in the Pac-12 and have only lost three games. I know it's a must-win game for Oregon for them to have any hope of making the tournament. I don't see it happening, though. Arizona, too talented. Give me them to win it. Okay, and Washington State, 2 seed, 3 seed Colorado. Fun matchup. If Colorado wants to, for sure be in, I think a win versus a top 25 team like Washington State would get them in. We look at the 31st of December. Colorado beat Washington State by 7. Then on the 27th of January, Washington State won by 9. Interesting game here. I'm gonna go with Colorado, a team that's won 3 straight or won 6 straight, playing great basketball right now. I do have value in that when it comes to these tournaments. So give me Colorado in the upset. No disrespect to Washington State. I do like Washington State, but I'm still hesitant on them. So give me Colorado to win it. As a 3 seed, I think that would give them a great case to make this tournament. But Arizona now. We have Arizona, Colorado for the championship. Let's take a look here if it'll load. Arizona beat Colorado on the 4th of January by 27. See, that's the thing. Or 37 points, actually. That was a dominant win. And then Arizona won by 20 on the road. So it seems like Arizona's had Colorado's number. I think that will come in this game. Give me Arizona to win the Pac-12 championship and maybe be able to get into the 1 seed. I think not being able to get their revenge against Washington State, I think even winning this, beating Colorado, will hold them back from getting the 1 seed, especially with the loss to Oregon, but you never know what will happen. All right, anyway, guys, thank you all for watching my Pac-12 tournament predictions. Comment down below your predictions. Anyway, guys, peace out.